college or high school, but I stopped after Elvis Presley. My generation is quite different from yours, but I liked your music very much. But this much I know. Bands such as Linkin Park, they have a global reach. Millions of people can be reached through their participation and message. I first of all congratulate you on winning their success at the MTV Europe Award last Sunday. My congratulations. As you may know, I first met Linkin Park in February in Los Angeles, where we did the Facebook town hall. They have 36 million fans on Facebook and almost 600,000 followers on Twitter. It's amazing. I don't know how many I have. More than 9 million people have seen the Not Alone video, which helped our work in Haiti after the earthquake. So it was natural that I should ask them to support my Sustainable Energy for All initiative, which I launched just a couple of weeks ago, another United Nations efforts to build the future we want. Public support is essential, particularly young people who are our future. As a child growing up during the Korean War, I knew poverty. I studied by candlelight. Hundreds of millions of children still do at this time. As a Secretary General of the United Nations, I will do all I can to change this. Sustainable Energy for All initiative will help us to reduce poverty, drive economic dynamism, reduce the risk of climate change, and protect the planet all at the same time. We need to bring sustainable energy to every corner of the globe with the technologies like solar energy, mini-grids, and solar-powered lights, and wind turbines. We can turn on the lights in every household and turn down the global thermostat. Linkin Park will help us spread this message and mobilize efforts to bring sustainable energy to all. And I once again thank your support and your commitment and leadership for joining us here today. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now if I could invite Mike Shinoda, co-lead vocalist of the band. Mike.
Hi, you guys. In January, when our band initially met Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, it was to discuss the work we'd already done with the UN and UN Foundation through our nonprofit Music for Relief. A little bit of history. We started Music for Relief back in 2004. And a short story about those beginnings. We were on tour supporting our second album, which was called Meteora. And I remember part of that tour we had visited many places in the world we had never visited before. We, in particular, some of the places we toured in were we toured in Thailand, we toured in Indonesia, Singapore, and I remember we'd never really got much of a day off. It's rumored that we were on tour 300 days out of 1 year, and I think that's probably pretty accurate. So a day off was special, and I remember we went out at the time to do some sightseeing on one of those rare days off, and we took a boat, like a little canoe, down a waterway. The folks there showed us, the local sites. They showed us their homes on the waterfront. Afterwards, we had a delicious meal, local cuisine. The next day, we played a show. The fans were incredible. They gave us arts and crafts. They gave us gifts, and it was one of the most memorable experiences of the tour. We came home. And later that year, I got a call from one of my bandmates saying that that I should turn on the news. And that night I saw images of what looked to me to be the same places that we had visited that really memorable trip on that memorable day. Images of that place destroyed by a horrible tsunami. That was the beginning of Music for Relief for us. We vowed that we needed to do something and we wanted to get involved. And for us, Music for Relief has always been about disaster relief and efforts to help the environment. Most recently, with the UN and UN Foundation, we worked in Pakistan to provide shelters for affected families, and then in Haiti, through a program called Download to Donate, artists and fans helped fund solar lights, which you saw in the video here for Not Alone. In April, our bandmate Dave Farrell traveled to Haiti with the UN and visited a World Food Program school feeding program and an IDP camp called Camp Karai to see these solar lights that MFR helped fund. And we're very proud of what we've accomplished through the partnership with the UN and the UN Foundation. It was this discussion of our work back together in January that brought Linkin Park and Linkin Park to the UN Foundation, UN headquarters today. In speaking with Secretary General, we were shocked to learn that 1 in 5 people do not have reliable access to electricity. 1 in 5 people. Some 2.5 billion people, almost half of humanity, rely on fuels like wood, charcoal, and dung to heat their homes and cook their food. We couldn't believe that mothers and children were getting sick and dying prematurely from smoke inhalation from these pollutants in their homes at the rate of 2 million a year. And we started to think about access to energy, or lack of it, and what it really means for daily life. It means that a child can't read at night after the sun goes down. It means that life-saving vaccines cannot be refrigerated and therefore are unavailable for a child who needs them to stay healthy. And it means a mother must spend hours of her day collecting wood to cook meals for her family. Jobs, security, food production, environmental protection in response to humanitarian disasters. Access to sustainable energy is essential for all of these activities. If Music for Relief aims to protect ecosystems and support disaster risk mitigation, we have to begin with energy access. The challenge in the world is just as great. We need to improve how we generate the power we need, and we need to be more efficient in how we consume it. This isn't just a challenge for the poorer nations of the world, it's one that faces us all. This is why we're joining with the UN Secretary General in this important initiative. Linkin Park and Music for Relief are championing the Year of Sustainable Energy for All in 2012. And we have 2 goals to support this initiative. Number 1, we want to raise the visibility of the issue. We want to help spread the word about how big the problem is. Many people think that power just comes from an outlet. And we want to share the complex truth about energy access. And number 2, we also want to make a difference on the ground. We're enlisting the help of our fans to help achieve both. With your help, we can raise awareness and help families gain access to renewable energy tools. These tools will help reduce health and fire risks associated with pollution from fuels like charcoal, dung, and kerosene. By expanding access to clean energy, we can support the environment while empowering families to safely light their homes. Today, along with our fans, we pledge to help 1 million families gain access to clean energy solutions. Linkin Park's commitment to sustainable energy for all is to power the world, and we invite everyone to join us. So please go to powertheworld.org to find out how to help. Thank you guys very much.